Hello and welcome. Today we are in Universal Studios in Singapore and we're about to take a look around the Egypt section. This is where you have the big mummy ride, which is a fantastic ride in the dark as well. And then there's other little bits and pieces around here as well. The theming, obviously you can see you literally go from one land to the other. So the roller coaster is part of the sci-fi land. Everything changes as you start to walk through, and you can see just how quickly the theming changes from one section of this park to the other. It is quite a tight park, but they have got lots and lots of different bits and pieces in it. Now, with regards to the Egypt land, there is two lots of lockers where you can put your bits and pieces in to get on to the big mummy ride. There's a huge photo opportunity just in front of the ride as well, where everybody stands up, and then if you walk a little bit further back, that's where you can obviously get some other really good photos as well. As you've just seen, and what we've just stopped by is in every single section of the park, they do tell you where everything else is as well with regards to the arrows going from one way to another, but you literally just do one big circle around the outside. So the Egypt is in between two very strong parts of this theme park, because you've got the Sci-Fi City, which is mixed up of the Transformers ride and the Battlestar Galactica, which is the big red and black individual track roller coasters. So that is a double roller coaster on that one. And then if you keep walking in a straight line, you then have what is the largest section of the theme park, which is all of the Jurassic Park bits and pieces, which again does look very, very good when you walk around. And they have the massive water ride there, which I think is still my favorite ride of this park and also Florida as well. So I really do like both of the Jurassic Park sections. The mummy section here is obviously completely different to the one in Florida, because obviously we have like an Egypt themed area here, whereas in Florida you kind of walk down like a street and then you go into the mummy ride itself. So it is quite nice that they've added in other little bits and pieces just here. There's this thing, you've got a eatery where you get all like your spicy foods, and then you have got a much calmer ride as well, which always seems to have a very, very strong queue line. So I'm not too sure if the queue line itself is very, very well sheltered and people just like to stand in it. The one thing that is also very nice is that when you come off the mummy ride, obviously it force feeds you through a shop like they always do, but that shop is so heavily air conditioned. It's fantastic, because as you can imagine, in the Singapore sun, you're mid-30s, close to 40s during the day, and it gets very, very hot when you're walking around, so you do need lots and lots of fluids. You can see Jurassic Park is just over there. Now we're spinning around. That is the other way in to this park, because obviously you can go around the theme park one way or you can go around the theme park the other, so it's up to you which way you come in. But depending on which way you come in, obviously you will see it from a completely different angle, and this is the ride that you first see, which does look very, very good. No, it's not a water ride, it's just a big individual track on like a cart, and it goes around. It basically is very, very similar to the Mummy as well, where you've got all of the different characters and things like that based in the Egyptian theme. So if you are a fan of the Mummy and all of the other sort of rides like that, then it's going to be, this area is perfect for you. And like I said, lots and lots of opportunities for some really nice photos. So this is where lots and lots of people do congregate, especially at the front of the Mummy ride, because you've just got the opportunity, and you'll see it in a second when we walk around, because you can step really far back and then get a really, really nice backdrop for some photos, and loads of people waiting to get the photo taken. The ride, with regards to the little individual car track, we are still walking past it. So this is just the one ride. You can see the cart there in the background. It is enormous. It takes up a huge, huge area. You can see where the queue line and everything is. So literally on the right-hand side, there is your ride, your eatery, and your photo opportunity. And on the left-hand side, it's literally your lockers, the shop, and the entrance into the Mummy. So it's just a nice small little land, and it is just like the divider from sci-fi straight into Jurassic Park, with this in the middle. But everything is amazingly themed at the Universal Studio theme park, and obviously it's going to be here in Malaysia. Now Malaysia has just opened up a brand new Minion Land as well. That's very, very, very impressive. So I am looking forward to seeing what the Florida is going to do. California, we know that they've got a massive roller coaster being built for the Fast and Furious ride over there. So it's very, very interesting to see what the future holds for the Universal Parks, and now obviously there is the world's largest theme park opening up under a completely different banner. So that has nothing to do with Disney or Universal, and I think it is over in Saudi Arabia. So now they've got some serious competition with some very, very big roller coasters. It'll be interesting to see what way Universal go, because the theming here is always fantastic, but it does seem to be that the rides are also getting bigger and bigger. Now we're halfway through the walk round, and you can see that we are just having a look at the track. You can basically see almost everything, and it's a very, very good thing. We can obviously take loads of photos, you can take your video as you're going around on that on the car, and it's just a nice little chilled break. Because in between, you've got, like I said, just there, look, you've got the two different roller coaster tracks. You've got the big roller coaster of the Mummy, and then you've got the big log flume for the Jurassic Park. So this is just a little bit more of a calmer section of the theme park. It's just in the right location if you just wanted to sort of gather your thoughts for 45 minutes. Try and cool off a little bit, grab yourself a drink and a bite to eat, and then you can sit on something without being sick. And then it is a lot of areas, like I said, you can just walk around, get some photos. But this is where we are for the photo opportunity. So you can see you have loads and loads of people standing around. Not 100% sure what the boxes and things are on the ground, but you can obviously just stand wherever you want, get your photo taken for all of that kind of thing, and you are well away. So you can take different ways around the different sections of the park as well. So as you're coming up here, there's like a meet and greet just in that bit. As I'm coming through this way, this is almost like a different way in to the Jurassic Park section as well, as you go over a different area for obviously the rides. So you can see all these little bits and pieces, and you can just wrap it round and you go all the way down. I think it's a disabled rampway, so it's just a little bit easier to get about, but you can obviously use it as a cut through if you want to. Sometimes though it is closed off, and sometimes it is open, so I don't know if the members of staff allow you to go through that way, then they block it off, or they sometimes just block it off for whatever reason. I have no idea, but I have walked down it before, and you can see that this way it just takes you to the Lost World. But you can see there was a disabled ramp sign underneath there, so if I carried on walking around that way, right, it takes you into the Lost World a completely different way. And there's hardly ever anybody over this way, like even on top of the bridge taking photos of those little bits and pieces. They are all well a little bit further over in that longer section, because you've got the huge backdrop of the ride, and that's where everybody likes to take their photos. And I'm pretty sure as we start walking back this way, there might be some characters to the right hand side. I can't remember what land it happened on. I know it happened in Shrek, but I'm not too sure if it's something that they literally just appeared out of nowhere. They're like spawn. I don't know where they come from, and it's just to the right hand side. There seems to be people walking over that way, so maybe either people just going in the shelter and the shade, or there is sort of some bits and pieces going on there. But we are very quickly starting to run out of time, so if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. We've got about 3 minutes left or so, but this is what I mean about the photo opportunity. So you can take your photo here and basically pick and choose where you want your backdrop. Lots of people cowering for shelter on the left hand side. The right hand side where I'm stood, it was blisteringly hot. It was very, very, very toasty. As you can see, that there's nobody on this side and they're all over on the other. And if you go down the middle, then obviously if you get a little bit closer, you can set your camera up nicely, which loads of people were doing. And then they're getting those two big statues as the backdrop just there, which looked very, very, very impressive indeed. So everybody wanted their photo taken with that, and you can see why, because it was super, super impressive. So again, depending on which way you're coming in from, you can obviously go to the lockers, do whatever it is that you want to do. You can do the shop first, you can do the ride first, you can come back to this at a later date, because it is a smaller land, so there's lots of people here at one point. Obviously, as you start to loop around, it will calm down during the day, so it's up to you how you sort of approach and do all the little bits and pieces. And of course, like I said, you have got a lot of food to pick from. So that is it, and I am done. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and I'll catch you next one.